Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode of Unfiltered with Amber. We have a special guest here today. Yeah. Bill Jennings, everyone.
They're clapping. I swear they're clapping.
They are. All right, you want to introduce yourself and what we're doing here today?
Yeah, so we're doing something a little bit different. So if you couldn't tell, we are from two different generations. So I am slightly younger than her.
Oh.
And so I'm obviously slightly older than her. So what we're doing is we're hoping that we can kind of offer, I wouldn't say this is advice. Like, I don't think we aren't experts on any of this. We just want to kind of show the contrast between like, maybe like the same topic or the same conversation, but from two different generations and kind of how our thoughts contrast and sometimes compare, right?
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to ask ourselves the same question and give perspective from a different lens. So I have a few things down here that I thought would be kind of interesting to go over. And also, we were actually at an event recently where they did a panel with like multiple different generations. I think there were people in like middle school, high school, then it was like right out of college, and then it was adults with, you know, like children who are in their teens and things like that. So that was kind of cool to see. So then when we thought of this episode, we thought it could be really cool to provide our insights. So we're excited for it. Okay. We're going to start off with like right now in life, how we see life. So a couple different questions that we can go into is at this age, your age and my age, what matters most to you?
So is this anything specific, like topic wise, or just like what matters most in general?
I think just in general in life right now. Like if someone asked you that question right now, what would you say matters most to you?
I would say what matters most to me right now is peace.
Okay.
Yeah, just like peace in my life, like stability. Just stability and peace and calm.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I agree, but I think like the thing that matters most to me, what came to my mind, like, yeah, I want a peaceful life, but I think the main thing right now that matters most to me is like my career and building myself up still. Okay. So if someone asked me that, like, what's most important? Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is my career and who I'm becoming.
Okay.
And what I want to do, because there's so many things like this podcast.
So do you feel like that comes with like is it at any cost, like necessary kind of thing? Like that's the most important thing to you regardless of the cost?
I think I would definitely sacrifice other things to make sure that my career is prioritized. It doesn't mean everything, but definitely I would make more sacrifices in life because I have a vision of where I want to be with my career and also stability, but like stability, I think in a different way than what you mean. Stability more of like being independent fully and being able to provide for my parents and things like that.
Okay.
Kind of.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think probably when I was at that age, it was probably the same. It was more like growth mindset and growth mentality.
Yeah.
Of like the constant like hustle to try and get to where I want to be. And now I feel like now it's more like I've done that. Not that I don't still need to do that, because I don't think like you should be like resting and just be like complacent at where you are. But I think like I'm finding what's more important to me is like the calm and peace and stability, and not the constant like chaos and chasing the next thing, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I get it. And I don't think I'm like hustle, but I do think, because I was that, and then I realized that was a very quick way to burn out. So now it's like, that's why I relate with the whole peace thing too. Like I want peace, but I don't mind like late nights working or sacrificing certain things like my peace in certain ways if it's going to help my career.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay,
cool. What feels urgent versus what feels like it can wait?
What feels urgent versus what can wait? Why don't you go first on this one?
Okay. What feels urgent? Oh my gosh. I feel like at my age, because I'm 25. So I think at my age.
Should we have covered that?
Maybe.
Yeah. So she's 25. I'm 41.
Yeah.
So that's the age gap here.
Yeah. So for me, what feels urgent? I don't know if this is like urgent for me, but I think at my age group, like my friends and people in my life, which a majority of my friends are older than me in general, but still in my like generation and time, like in their 20s and early 30s, people are getting married. Some of my friends have kids. Some of them, maybe are moving to different states and things like that. So I feel like urgency is like settling down a little bit, maybe like with, you know, a person and figuring out like when is marriage, when is engagement, when is kids, are we going to move to a different state, like things like that. Maybe that feels urgent. I don't think I'm pressured for it, but I think that's like obviously on my mind that I would like it to happen. When I was younger than 25, I know I'm super young, but younger than 25, I used to think like by 25, you're old and you should have a husband and kids and a career and everything figured out. And now that I'm 25, I'm like, am I behind? But I'm not, because I'm doing so many other things. But also, I don't know, when I was younger, I wanted to get married really young. And also, I think because I grew up with my parents getting married young too, maybe, and my culture.
Well, yeah, I think that's something that's like drastically changed over the past, like, I don't know, decade or two, is like the average, I'm making these statistics up, okay? But like the average age to get married, like when like your parents or my parents were, you know, getting married was early 20s.
Yeah.
Like that's when, like if you weren't married at 25, like something was wrong.
Yeah.
Now, like the average person isn't even moving out of their parents' house until they're in their 30s.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like the average age of marriage is much higher, which I think there's benefit to and a risk to, because there's something to be said about like the urgency of getting married. Like in that old mindset is you're now not having your life fully established yet.
Yeah.
So like you don't have your finances in order, you don't have like your career in order, you don't have all of that, and now you're starting a family, and it's kind of like a high risk game because you have so many other obstacles opposed to being stable.
Right.
Now it's a little bit the opposite. People are waiting. But the question there is, are they selfishly waiting?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So I think like urgent versus what can wait, I would answer it the same way. Like I feel urgent to move forward in life, but also it can like wait too.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. Like my mood changes. Some days I'm like, I need to hurry up and get engaged and get married and do all these things. Not that it's just like I can be the only one to do that, but at the same time, it's like an urgency. But other times, I feel like, okay, you know what? Like I have time. I'm still young, and I want to figure other things out in my life. And yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. This is tough for me because I don't know what I feel like is urgent right now. I think perhaps less is urgent.
Less?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it would make sense for me to say like for you saying that getting married right now is urgent to you at 25. I'm obviously substantially older, so that should be more urgent for me. But I already have I have a teenage son. So like I've gone through that portion of life. So like is it urgent for me right now? Like I would like it, but I don't feel like that I'm up against a clock, because I feel like I'm already past the time I already ran out, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like I'm in overtime right now. You know?
Well, that's the best time.
Yeah.
Like it's like, whoa, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a negative thing. It's just like I don't feel like you feel like you're pressured because of like your peers, right? It's like, oh, this person's getting married, or this person had a kid, so like now you feel like, oh, I have to like keep up with them because this is what's happening at my age.
Yeah.
I'm like beyond that. So it's not even like a thought in my head like I have to like, oh, if I'm not married by 2 years from now, like something's wrong with me. Something's already wrong with me. So, yeah.
Something's wrong with all of us. So
That's
it's fine.
true. So yeah, as far as like what am I more patient with, I don't think I have much patience in general. Mm-hmm. And I think as I get older, I have less patience.
Yeah.
Which maybe it should be the opposite. Maybe you become more patient over time, but I don't feel like I have patience in that sense. What like things that can wait, if that's more what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that too, because I feel like the older I get, the less patience I have too.
Yeah.
With certain things, I think it's like what you tolerate and not, maybe. I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. What do you care about way less now?
Other people's like opinions, I think. I think like when you're younger, that's important to you because maybe you aren't fully secure on who you are, or you feel like the optics of like who you are to like society, to other people is like super important. And I think as you get older, you realize that people's opinions or people's thoughts are completely pointless.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's something that I feel like I what was the question? I'm trying to reiterate. I think my answer was correct.
What do you care about way less now? Yeah.
I feel like that's something I care like less about now. Like I don't feel like that's as important to me of like how I'm viewed or just other people's opinions in general.
Yeah.
Like you could put all the negative comments under this that you want. Like I don't care as much. I would have cared when I was younger.
Okay, let's put that to a test, everyone.
I'm going to turn off comments on this, by the way.
Probably should. Okay. What do I care less about? Or wait, what do you care about way less? That's worded weird. I think kind of similar actually, because I feel like when you're younger, for example, for me, like when I was in college, I cared about other people's opinions and maybe a little bit more than I do now. I don't think I ever really care too much about people's opinions, but you always are like, okay, how are they like viewing me? And like, am I the coolest person in the room? Am I like, you know, like popularity contests, things like that, where now I don't care about any of that. It's more like if I feel confident in who I am, I don't really care what other people think. I think I had that when I was younger, but it was still like searching for validation a little bit more, maybe. Do I still? I don't know.
You do.
Well, less. Okay, so I care about it. It says way less now.
Yeah.
Less. I think I search for validation in other areas, like, yeah, in other areas versus like, I don't know. Does that even make sense?
It does. Well, I think like important distinction here too is like, we all obviously care what people think to a degree.
Yeah.
I think just at different points in your life, it's more of an unhealthy need to like feel like people like are viewing you a certain way. Yeah. Like obviously I want the people closest to me to view me in a certain way, right? Like I want you to look at me and think that I'm a good person. I want my son to think I'm a good person. I want my parents to think I'm a good person, right? But like I'm more talking about like outside noise, right? Like just random insignificant people. I'm not trying to prove myself to somebody. Mm-hmm. I used to always feel like I had to dress a certain way to impress people, or like I had to put on a certain appearance so people looked at me and thought like, oh, he's successful, or he's, you know, doing well for himself. Like now I genuinely don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm still in the phase where, because I am younger and I am around a lot of older entrepreneurs, I still have that need to prove myself sometimes though. Not necessarily that I want to or care to, but it's like, you do have to show up a certain way to be taken seriously at my age. Yeah. You know, and I think that's been a thing since I started entrepreneurship in general, because I started so young. Because when I go in and talk about business and how to scale your business and all these things, they're like, what does this 20-year-old know about scaling a business? So obviously I have to go in like talking a certain way, probably dressing a certain way that I'm taking more serious than, you know, dressing like comfy, cozy, how I normally do or whatever at times.
But is that reality, or is that something that you're telling yourself? Like you started that out by saying like the voice in your head said, what are people like, are they going to take me seriously? What does this young person know about yada, yada, yada? Like you're saying that. Somebody said that to you?
Yes.
Oh, they have?
Yeah. But normally it's like I debunk that by like, for example, older people than me, they're not very well versed in social media. Maybe now, but like when I first started social media, it was harder for older entrepreneur businessmen to grasp that concept of how to market online and post content. Yeah. It wasn't as like normal. So like for me, it was a very easy way to debunk what they were saying, because I would be like, well, I grew up in this generation of knowing social media. I know the algorithms. I know what works. I know marketing. I know how to build a brand. I know how to do X, Y, Z, where you don't, because your generation didn't grow up in that. Maybe you grew up door knocking or, you know, having commercials on TV or banners and stuff. And some of that still works depending on your business, but it's like an older style of marketing, you know? Yeah. I don't know. Did that go off topic?
It kind of a little bit, but it's fine. All right. What else you got?
All right. Okay. Anyways, so next we'll since we're talking about like career, money, ambition, whatever, things like that, we'll talk about that now. So it goes into asking questions like, how do you each approach money, risk, and success? Okay. So we'll start with, how do we each approach money?
All right. We're alternating here. I'm going to enforce this, so you're first on this one.
Okay. How do I approach money? I think for me, well, there's so many things to talk about in this. I think for me, because I grew up in a generation where there's a lot of fluctuation with like, what is it called? Like the economy, fluctuation with the economy, you know? So it's like, I'm used to certain things being more expensive or certain things being not as expensive or things being good and things being bad, and seeing my parents also go through phases where they had a lot of money but then also didn't have a lot of money. So I saw that. Plus my dad's an entrepreneur, so it's easier for me to like see an entrepreneurship side as well. So I was around that. So I think like approaching money, my approach on money is definitely probably delusional a lot of the times, because it's like I don't see a reason of why you can't make a certain amount. Like for me, sometimes it's like, okay, yes, it's going to take a while maybe, or it's going to take a lot of work and discipline, but I don't think it's like unreasonable to have big financial goals at my age.
Okay.
Without having like a career that's paying you like a 9 to 5. I mean, I have a career, but like not a 9 to 5. You know, that's like, okay, there's a good company where I'm getting a solid check and solid this and that, where maybe your generation might have thought different. I don't know. But for me, like, I like that I'm able to build my career and I can basically decide how much money I'm making by what I am doing.
Okay.
No matter where the economy's at. So maybe that's delusional. It sounds delusional, but it's not. Is it?
No.
Okay.
It was just a different way than I was interpreting the question, so now I'm thrown
shoot.
off.
Okay. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Like, I didn't know exactly what to say either. So the question is, how do I view my relationship with money? Is that what it says?
How do you each approach money?
How do you approach money?
I think I said my relationship with money. I think that's what I talked about.
Yeah, you talked about like your view on like being optimistic about making money.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's asking. That's kind of broad.
It is. Okay, so my approach, how I approach money, I approach it with a handshake and a smile, typically. That's what I do.
Whose hand are you shaking?
The guy on the money. So I think that like how I approach money now is a little bit more, this might sound strange, but like respectfully.
Okay.
I feel like earlier in life, it was like you're talking about making money, but not like so much about like how you're managing money.
Okay.
Right. So like, I think I was more reckless when I was younger with like, I'm still pretty reckless with my money, but like I'm understanding of it. Like I'm understanding of like where I'm wasting money and appreciating. I'm understanding of it. I'm not saying I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm understanding of it. I didn't think about it, nor did I care about it when I was younger. And I think also because I was raised, I didn't grow up like with money, right?
Yeah.
Like my parents both, struggled and we didn't have money, right? So then when I started making money, it was like, I want to prove to myself that like I'm worthy. So I'm going to buy things and spend money and do whatever to kind of make myself feel better.
Yeah.
And I think now where I'm at in life, I know that it doesn't necessarily make me feel better. It doesn't actually have that impact. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm more like respectful and understanding of money coming in and money leaving versus like it's never ending and I can just spend and be careless and whatever. I still spend and I am careless.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of it.
That's what matters.
I wasn't aware of it before. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think I grew up aware because I saw my parents like have and not have. So like, you know how they say you learn through others' failures? I think I learned a lot through them. So it's like, this isn't exactly even an age question. It's more like our upbringing, I guess, too, how that like defines it a little bit. But then that goes into like risk. How do you approach risk? I think at my age, it's easier to be risky for me because I don't have responsibilities of certain things that you may have. I don't have a child. I don't have things like that, like big bills to pay. So it's not like a big deal. Like I can spend a little bit more carelessly.
This girl's wild right now.
What?
Tell me a risky thing you've done with your money recently. Please tell me. What risks are you taking?
I bought a Rolex.
Okay.
Is that risky?
Is it a risk?
I don't know. They say they go up in value or something.
Yeah, Rolex is kind of the most like safe like item to buy because
okay, I just bought it because I liked it, but
they
that sounds risky to me.
Stay the same. You could sell that in 5 years for the same amount you paid for it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know if I've made a lot of risks.
You haven't.
I think my life is a risk. Like me, like not having a stable, I mean, I have a stable job, but also it's not, like I don't have like a normal career.
Yeah, but is that risk when you just said before this that you don't have the responsibilities that somebody else may have, right? You don't have like a big, like, you know, you don't have a large amount of bills that you have to pay on a monthly basis to allow yourself, like, so you're not panicking, like I have to sell X amount of people this month in order to like just pay my monthly nut, right? So like, is that risk?
I don't know.
I think it's calculated risk, if anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't think there's a reason for me to be like super in a risk position then right now.
Right. Yeah.
Unless it's like investing into like mentors or going to events or coaches and things like that. But I don't see that as a risk necessarily, because it's like that is an investment more than this Rolex, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's why I said this is risky, because it's like, okay, yeah, sure, I can make my money back, but like, I don't know. I feel like that's different than when you're investing into your knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't find that risky, where a lot of other people would.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
you're very calculated with your risk, which is a good thing. And especially at like your age, because when I was your age, my risk tolerance was way higher.
Yeah.
I wasn't being calculated. It was just, and again, it was, as you said earlier, from like upbringing, I think it was like me trying to fill a void inside of me to prove to myself that like I did better than where I came from.
Yeah.
So it was like I overextended myself. Like when I first started making money, like in my mid-20s, I completely overextended myself. I looked like I had money, but I was heavily in debt. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't matter how much money I was making, because I was spending, 50% more than that at all times to try and make it appear like I was doing well. So like my risk then was like, I don't think that risk really changes over time for me. I think it's just the level of the risk.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I am more calculated with the risk now, but like the risks are just larger.
Yeah. And I think you said like your respect with money earlier, like you are more aware of certain things, where when you were younger, you probably weren't as maybe aware.
Yeah, it's more like
doing.
Yeah, you're more like ignorant to like the reality of certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now like I've dealt with it in several ways, so I understand the impacts of the risks I was taking.
Yeah.
So
I think also like for my generation, there's so much more opportunity, because like I'm able to see how my parents' upbringing was. Obviously, like with you, I saw certain things with you, and you taught me a lot with other like mentors and coaches that maybe weren't, that's like not a big thing back then, maybe for you as much, where now it's like very easy to find a mentor or a coach to help guide you, so that way you can learn through their failures rather than you make them yourselves.
I think that always existed. We just have like catchy names for them now.
I think it always existed too, but I don't think it was as known. Like it wasn't as accessible or like known. Yeah.
Well, I think there's a difference, right? Like, right now, if like you coach people, right? So if somebody hires you as a coach, they are firmly aware that they have a coach because they purchased one.
They purchased.
You get what I'm saying? Like, like they paid, they saw you out, and they're like, this is my coach / mentor. I'm paying them for this, so I know I'm receiving coaching. I know I'm receiving mentorship. I think like before like this industry kind of like became what it is, those people existed. You were just unaware that that's what they were. You were still learning from people around you that were older, wiser, more successful. You just never like looked at it as like, oh, that's my mentor, because you didn't really know what that word meant, and you weren't like paying them for that. It was just a casual conversation over lunch where you learned things. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're just more like aware of it now.
Yeah.
I think that's always existed.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. How do you approach success?
Am I going?
Yeah.
So this is interesting, because this is from your first episode.
Yeah.
There was something in there about that, and I told her, I wish like I was on camera during this, because I wanted to like push back on something that you said, and just to challenge her, because like I think how you define success is the question.
Yeah.
Right. Like what is success? Is it financial? Is it being like stable and at peace and feeling like fulfilled? And like, I think when I was younger, it was more chasing like success means fancy cars, big house, money in my bank account. And while those things are still fantastic and I love all of those things, I think the true success of that is like feeling fulfilled in life in all aspects, because I chased all of those things. And when I have those things and had those things, I didn't feel any better. Yeah. So like that wasn't success.
Yeah. Actually, funny story. When he bought a Ferrari like a few years back, I think it was like 2021, maybe. I don't remember. But he bought a Ferrari and he wanted this car for so long. You wanted it because of that show, right?
Look, Ari Gold had it on Entourage, and I wanted this very specific one that was the exact same one as his.
So he bought it. And like he was so excited about it and always talked about it and all these things, whatever. So he got it. And then every single time we would drive it, it was like you hated life. You hated existence. You hated everything around you. I'm like, why did you buy this car? Because it wasn't fulfilling. Like maybe for a second it was like, I got this car, but driving it, I think it's also because where we live where we live is great for the roads, maybe. I don't know.
All I know is it was like the accomplishment of getting it was the only success I felt from that transaction. My favorite times driving that car was thinking about driving it and then parking it back in the garage. While I was driving it, I was always stuck behind a landscaping truck doing 22 miles an hour, or just in stop and go traffic. And it was I love how the car looks. I love that I had the car. I got rid of it a couple years ago because I just didn't drive it that much. But I never once got in that and was like, I've made it. This is it. Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just what you want. It's like everything it's like you want the next best thing. And then as soon as you have it, it's like, well, I wish I had this instead and this instead. The grass is always greener. So I think with age, you learn that the grass is not greener.
Oh.
It's greener where you water it. I read that.
Where?
It's like all over the internet. That's like a totally known thing.
It's green where you water it? Okay.
Yeah, like where you put
But like what are you
in.
watering it with? Like filtered water or like...
Oh my gosh. I think you're missing the
tap
metaphor
water
there. Yeah.
Because tap water makes you dumb.
Right, because of the fluoride. That's true.
But it makes your teeth white. It does.
There you go.
All right.
What's success to you?
I think I explained it in episode 1 also. So if you haven't listened to episode 1, go back and watch and listen. Anyways, same thing as you were saying. Like at first I was saying, how would I think success? Like I thought financially certain things, but also for me, success isn't just financial. So I think it depends per person. For me, it is all these other things that I want to accomplish in life and feeling fulfilled in other ways. So I think money can bring a lot of that for me, and my career can bring a lot of that. For example, like if I am making enough to be able to retire my parents and support them for like the rest of their lives, that is financially you need to be making X amount or whatever, right? But also it's fulfilling too. Like it's not just about the money. It's because I can take care of them. They can rest. I can have peace knowing that they're not struggling and things like that. So I think it depends, but I do think that money is obviously a big part of success in getting to certain things and having the accessibility to do certain things, even like giving back to charity. All right, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. I think the storage.
It wasn't my fault. Let's just cover that. It had nothing to do with me.
All right, but we'll continue on. Where were we? I think we were just talking about how each of us approach success, but you guys get the point. Anyways, so moving on. One financial mistake I'm glad I made.
Financial mistake I am glad I made. So many come to mind. It's just, I think that probably specifically, like I'm trying to think of a very specific one. I think like probably just like a real estate investment that I did, and it kind of carries over to a bunch of different things. So I'll make it more general. So one thing that I've always struggled with is like shiny object syndrome. So like I have my business, which it would be like stable, let's say, right? Like everything's going well. So then I get a little bored, and then I'll see like, oh, a friend of mine is doing this, or I read this online and this looks exciting. And then I would think, well, I can tackle that as well. So I did that a couple of times with like real estate investing, or just with like other random like businesses that I wanted to start. And I would start focusing on that to be able to, have another stream of income.
Like the Minnesota daycares?
Yeah, like the daycares I was opening in Minnesota, the autism centers, and the medical transportation companies. Lots of government grants out there for that. So if you're interested, I do have a course coming out for $29.97 that'll teach you everything you need to know to be a Somali daycare owner.
And if you can't afford it, he's got funding options
I
too.
do. No, but like I think I would take what would end up happening is like I would take my eye off the ball, and then like my main business would suffer because my attention has gone elsewhere for something that I wasn't actually passionate about. So I think like the main lesson that I learned there, not that you shouldn't like diversify and do multiple things, but to make sure that the engine that's actually generating all of your income and is keeping you like functioning and creating success for you remains the main thing at times, because sometimes when you take your eye off of the ball, everything suffers. Like some people just can't do 5 things great. They can just do 5 things okay. And it's much better to focus on one thing that you can do great, you know?
Yeah.
So that I think like isn't specific to one thing, but that's kind of what I've learned over several financial mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I think I could do 5 things great.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Like this.
Keeping the camera recording was one of them.
No, I get that. I think it's also like, what do they call it? Like when you were talking, it reminded me of, I think it's called like childlike wonder, where I don't know if that's the right word actually, but like, for example, his son the other day, we were watching like Karate Kid, right? And now he wants to go back into Taekwondo. He actually started again doing Taekwondo.
He's an action taker.
But it's like, and then after that, the next day, he's like, actually, I want to start doing basketball again. And like all these other things that you start thinking, like you want to do it all when you see something maybe online or your friend doing it and things like that. So I think like you have that in general now as like adults, obviously it's like a different version of that. But I think it's like your childlike wonder. I don't know if that's the word, but I feel like it is, where you're like curious of, okay, what could this do for my life? Or like, could I do that? Or like, should I go into that?
Yeah.
You know?
I think I want to like mention something just to, it's kind of sidetracked, but not really. So like to what I was saying, as far as like multiple things, like I think that there's like this thought that you kind of see that goes viral all the time of like, you know, you have to have 7 streams of income, right? There's like this whole thing of that's how you build your way to wealth. It's like 7 streams of income. They aren't talking about 7 randomly different things.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been completely misconstrued to where people think like, well, I need 7 different businesses. I need a daycare and an auto body shop. And I also need to own a bakery, and I need to have an insurance company. Like that's not what they're talking about.
Yeah, no.
It's like, you know, they're talking about having passive income, like passive investments, active investments, your business itself. But even if you just break it down, and this is where I kind of like solve my shiny object syndrome at times, just at times, is like inside of your business, there are probably additional ways to monetize your business that you aren't doing. So instead of trying to take on something entirely different and then your main thing's like, you know, struggling because of it, like find additional ways that you can monetize like your actual business itself.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mine was talking. So then I started hosting events and talking and getting paid for it. And now I'm doing a podcast to talk more.
There you go.
But it's kind of on brand. Well, this is random. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I think people definitely view that and like, okay, I need to find 7 different things, but it's really not that. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One financial mistake I've made, I don't know if I've made any financial mistakes, honestly.
Wow. It's because of all the risks that you take. So, you know, that's why.
Calculated.
Yeah.
Like a calculator. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think like maybe college. I didn't pay for that. My parents paid for my college, but I mean, thankfully, and I'm super blessed that they did, but I think financially, like I know I didn't financially pay for it, but I think that that's definitely one thing that I would never have paid for or wanted to have paid for. And I'm glad that they did, because I hated college, but I think like the experience of it and also learning I didn't really learn in class, but like the experience of college itself and also having a degree and making my parents feel good that I got a degree or whatever. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know how to answer this. I don't think I have a financial mistake that I'm glad I've made. I think every financial decision I make, I'm usually pretty glad I make it.
So, okay, but look at it a different way. Like, are you where you want to be financially in life?
No.
Okay. So maybe the mistake isn't spending money on something you shouldn't have. Maybe it's not taking a specific risk or investing in something that could put you closer to that
Are you
goal.
calling me a loser?
I'm not calling you a loser. I'm saying that you're only viewing it as what was something that you did. Like what action did you take that you that failed, opposed to what action didn't you take that led to you potentially could have grown faster.
I got a good one for this. Financial mistake.
See that? You just gotta push
I'm glad
and then
I
you
made.
get an answer.
And I'm going to make an episode about this also, actually. So like going to college, I had a lot of great opportunities for working at some really good companies for a really great salary or whatever you call it. And I decided that it wasn't exactly the path for me. So like financially, was that smart? Maybe not, because it's like, this is secure. I'm getting, medical, dental, all these like whatever benefits.
All that.
Which like as an entrepreneur, it's different, right? Like you have to figure your own ways out for that. It's not necessarily through like a company. So I think that maybe was a financial mistake. I wouldn't call it a mistake, but I'm glad that I made. I got fired though. So I mean, like, did I?
I guess she kind of left out the mistake part. She's like, my biggest mistake is taking a job with a salary and like insurance. Like, yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So you took your eye off the ball of what you are passionate about to try and do something that you felt was safe, and then turned out it wasn't for you. Or they turned out to decide it wasn't for you.
I decided actually, but yeah.
Yeah. I sometimes decide to get fired also. So
I did.
You have to stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah.
And then you'll know what we're talking about.
I like manifested it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to get fired so bad and it happened. So like dream big, because like your dreams can turn into reality. Mine did.
Wow.
Okay. One mistake I wish I avoided. That's kind of like, is that the same thing?
Yeah, boring. Move on.
Okay. Let's go into some depth. Depth? Is that the word? Depth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
A hard word. How you each handle conflict.
We should answer for each other. And then
Okay, fine. Answer for me. Go for it.
If I answer for her, you'll see how she handles conflict. So this is good. She handles conflict not well. Let's just put that there.
Ah!
Yeah.
Attack.
See? Yeah.
Okay.
No, you could
He
actually
also
answer.
handles conflict not well.
We could actually
Not
answer
fair.
for real. You want me to go first or you?
I'll go first.
Okay.
How you each handle conflict. I think you talk about each other's also. But like, okay, for myself, I think I handle conflict I wouldn't say very well, but I'm not afraid of conflict.
Okay.
Like that is definitely something that, like, you know how people are like, oh, I'm just like avoiding conflict at all costs. I don't mind having conflict if there's a reason to, though. I'm not going to just have conflict for random. I mean, I've had phases in my life where like I'm randomly causing conflict where I probably shouldn't have gotten over that for the most part, but I'm not afraid of conflict. And I think that's because I'm not afraid to like speak up and like have conversation with people. And the conflict doesn't mean having an argument, does it?
It typically does for you.
Okay, but like that's not what conflict means.
Right.
Are you like crapping on me?
Yeah, see this? I'm gonna keep poking the sleeping bear.
Okay.
Right now.
How do you handle conflict? Let them know.
Nothing, I'm fine.
Avoidant.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, that's how I'm handling it right now. You see that? No. So I think it depends on the conflict. I think that I'm kind of both ways because like if something really, really gets to me, I will conflict with the best of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think that I try to choose my battles more at my age. So like I don't initiate conflict as often.
Okay. Yes.
But I won't like, if somebody comes at me, like I'm not just going to like take it. I will argue back or whatever needs to be happening. And then I still struggle with like, needing the final word kind of thing. So like that's
me too.
Which
so you can imagine.
causes a problem. They go on for weeks sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like it's like choosing my battles more, like realizing what's wasted energy versus like like worthy of an actual conversation. And there's an old quote, and I forget what book it's from, but it's a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So like, in other words, if I just try forcing her to understand what I'm saying, even if she agrees with it, I didn't really change her opinion. She just said okay to like make me shut up, essentially, right? So like a lot of times it's wasted energy trying to convince somebody. Like when you see these people arguing in like Instagram comments or Facebook comments about like political things and stuff like that, do you really think that your comments are going to get everybody else in the comments to be like, oh my God, you're totally right? Like that's never once happened.
Yeah.
Like you're just fighting fire with fire. There's no resolution to this. Yeah. So like you're never going to convince somebody against their will to change their opinion. So like you're just wasting energy. And I think that's kind of like, I much rather just deal with certain things like internally than actually like start conflict with random people in certain situations unless it's necessary.
Okay, I get that. I think I have the energy to start conflict. Like I don't mind.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks. It provides energy for conflict.
No, like I think like you said earlier, like your age, you're more, maybe you've gone through so much of it in your life where now you know, is it even worth having this quote unquote conflict, argument, discussion, whatever you want to call it? Probably not. Where for me, I don't think I've had as many maybe in my life, or I'm just not like drained out by it. As many like experiences in that.
In conflict?
I think I've had a lot of conflict, but definitely not like as much, obviously time wise, like our ages are different.
I think you've done great, to be honest. I think in the smaller window of time you're up there with the best of them. So I wouldn't put yourself down like that.
What are you trying to say, that I start conflict?
No, I think that you're selling yourself short right now. You have had a lifetime of conflict in a short window of time, which I think is great.
Okay, but I think it's because of the way that I grew up. So are you like pooping on my childhood? I think like I needed to have conflict to survive.
How did anything I say have anything to do with that?
No, because you're saying like that I'm like, you're manipulating me. You're trying to tell me, or gaslighting, I don't know the word, whatever. You're doing something to me right now where you're trying to tell me that I'm above, like, yeah, you're totally the best at this, but it's actually like a negative thing.
I'm glad you caught on to that.
Yes.
That's good awareness.
But I'm just saying, I think I have the energy to have conflict. Yes, I think it depends, like, okay, is this person worth my time? A lot of the times, no. So am I going to have the conflict? No. But if I feel, yeah, I want to, not conflict it up, but like, you know, have a conversation about this, or I want to have a say, I think it's very hard for me to keep my mouth shut. I'm just like, I need to say something. Like I have to. And if they don't understand, that's fine. But like, I feel like I have to, have to say something. I have to.
Yeah, you just got to. Do you think that because you're saying like you have the energy to, what type of...
I don't, I'm really tired.
Yeah, see? And like what type of sacrifice is other parts of your life taking because that energy is being given elsewhere into an unnecessary thing that does nothing positive for you?
Sometimes it does, though. I think that's why I'm saying it depends. Where's the conflict going? Like, am I having conflict with someone that I care about, that it's like important to have this conflict because it's, you know, something like my best friend, I need to have this conflict in order to, or like approach them with a thing because I want to resolve whatever I'm feeling. I think it's important to do that if you value your friendship with this person. If I didn't value my friendship or didn't care, then I don't care to have this conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And it won't bother me as much. But that's why I'm saying sometimes I feel like I need to have it because it's specific people in my life that I am like, I need to like say this to them because I care. But also there's other times where I just want to say something to this person because they annoyed me, or I don't like whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think the important distinction is like the style of conflict. Like is the conflict, is there a direction and are you seeking a solution to it? And if so, then the conflict could be helpful. But if it's just conflict to conflict, then
conflict it up.
No bueno.
I don't mind a little conflict. I'm not saying it in a negative way, though. I think you're taking it as negative.
No, I'm not.
I think a lot of people would take it as negative. But you guys, like, listening, think about it. Like, conflict is such a negative word, but it's like, it's not. Like, are you bold enough to go and maybe stand up for yourself? Like, that could come across as conflict.
Well, yeah, for sure. I'm like, being genuine. Like, if there is a direction and a purpose for it and you seek a resolution to it, then yes.
Okay. All right. So how do we each handle conflict? I conflict it up. He conflicts it down.
All right.
Cooling off versus confronting. Huh?
Yeah, like when should you cool off versus confront a situation?
Yeah, I'll definitely say I have a problem cooling off.
Yeah, no, she does.
You do too, though, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Don't even. We have conflict right now, I think.
No,
or
we
is this
don't.
tension?
This is
What's
neither.
the difference?
This is honestly pretty loving at this point.
Okay. Cooling off. I feel like I'm just like a hot person. Like it's like hard for me to cool off, you know?
Yeah, she is.
It's hard for me to cool off. It's like I need to, this is the same thing as handling conflict, like confronting someone. But this is my goal for this year actually, is to sit with my feelings.
Yeah.
And like understand how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling this way, what is going on, and then approach it. It doesn't have to be immediate. Where normally it's like, I'm just immediate, go, I don't think. I'm like, things are red, let me go and confront this person. Let me go and do this or do that and react in a way where now I'm trying to be less reactive and be more intentional. Like I can still react, but let me cool down a little bit. Not even cool down, but like process certain things, give it a little bit of time and then do it, which is a very big struggle for me.
Yeah, I think that's like important for everything is, and obviously I am not perfect in any stretch of the imagination with this type of stuff either, but like, nothing is ever going to be resolved when you're like hot and fired up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just, you're not thinking clearly, you're not thinking rationally. So a cool off period is definitely necessary, I think, for anything. And, I'll probably screw this up, but it's something about like, if it's not going to matter in like 5 days, like don't give it 5 minutes or something like that. I may have the units of measure wrong there. It might be 5 years and 5 minutes or 5 seconds and 5 minutes.
Either way.
Any period of time is what I'm referring to. But yeah, if it's not going to matter, like, does this really matter? Like, is this really something that matters, or am I just really upset right now?
Yeah.
So I think cooling off is.
But then I justify like it is going to matter because what if this, and that? You know?
Yeah,
so I play mind tricks.
Yeah, letting your mind run wild and create a whole world is definitely.
Yeah. I like have conversations with myself in my mind. I'm like fighting myself. Like it's like there's like 2 versions of me. That's kind of scary.
It's like the little devil and the angel thing in the cartoons.
And it's like, fight. Yeah. Who's going to beat each other? And then it's like conflict. Cool down. I don't know.
She's not wrong. This is what happens.
Yeah. So maybe it's just like my frontal. It seems a
lot cuter right now than it does in real life.
My prefrontal cortex, it used to be 25. Apparently it's 26 now.
Our brains are aging like slower. What's that? It's probably the fluoride in the water.
Yeah, it is. But I don't drink that.
This is literally tap water.
It's not,
Amber.
whatever. I could have a whole conversation about water. I'm very, very selective with the water that I drink.
She only drinks 1 water and she swears it's better. It is
You can't tell them though because they're going to drink it and it's going to run out.
The water is literally municipal tap water from like a southwest suburb in the Chicagoland area. This isn't fancy water from some random spring in, Fiji or something. It's literally, this is just drinking water. It's tap water.
Well, certain waters
it's just water out of the faucet. It's some dude with a hose.
It's not
filling up the bottles for her.
This one doesn't hurt my stomach. I swear. I don't know if people are. I actually made a video about this on like YouTube a long time ago. Well, it was part of a video, and people called me a water snob. But like, I think I am a water snob because I take water everywhere with me, like a specific water bottle brand, because I don't like Dasani hurts my stomach. The Nestle or whatever brand hurts my stomach. Great Value water bottles, terrible. Aquafina, it's all right, but it's like I still feel like kind of weird after drinking it. Like I could do Fiji, I can do Smart Water, I'm not going to say the name of this one if you guys can't see it in the video. Not saying it because I don't want people to. It's called Piggly Wiggly. Fine, I'm not a gatekeeper.
She's afraid that they're going to sell out or what?
Yeah. Well, we got to keep them in business because they almost went out of business. So honestly, go stock up on the.
When did they almost go out of business?
Remember I stopped finding those waters for like a really long time? It was like a month or 2.
It wasn't because the grocery store chain was going out of business. They
own water bottles.
They own like hundreds of grocery stores.
Yeah, but the water bottles, they stopped making them.
Probably because you drank too many of them. You're right.
Anyways, at my age, that's the other thing. The generations are so different because at my age, we're so like picky with things like that. Where I think your generation is fine drinking tap water and surviving. I could never.
Well, that's the difference between me growing up during the Great Depression, where we had to drink hose water. And only one person on the block had a hose, so we had to go over there.
Okay, whatever. Okay, back on topic. What we've learned from each other and like being at different phases and chapters of life and how we handle that.
Okay. Just in general, what have we learned from each other?
Yeah.
What have I learned from you? Well, I've learned about water, that's for sure. I think
not like everything you've learned from me.
Not everything?
No, because that's a lot.
Oh, so what am I?
But yeah, like in general.
She like stopped me before I said anything
okay,
to
go
like
on,
tell
go
me
on,
that.
go on.
And then it's back to a general. I think what I've learned from you, should I produce like more of like a tactical standpoint?
Sure.
Okay.
I think.
Like she's very visible on like social media and like that's her thing and all that kind of stuff. And me not as much. And I think you've taught me to view like content differently.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes like I look at people that like post like that and like it's
like
just
what?
like cringy to me.
You think I'm cringy?
No, I think that all social media people are cringy for the most part.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty cringy too. Cringy.
And so like, but I have to like view it differently.
Yeah.
Because I understand that there's like purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Like me, I don't think if you looked in my phone, I don't think you'd ever find like a selfie video that I like posted somewhere. I'm not like taking selfies of myself. Like
I have like hundreds.
This isn't a thing for like my age range. Well, yeah, but that's different. Not like ones I'm posting.
Yeah.
But like your generation, it's like everybody is comfortable being like in line at the grocery store, just like taking pictures of themselves. I'd be like, what? I'd be so embarrassed to do such a thing.
I don't think I'm that comfortable, but I get what you mean.
You know, it's acceptable
more
to
normal,
like,
yeah.
So when I look at that kind of stuff, it makes me like, I'm kind of like, well, that's odd. But with you, because I understand it's not like a vanity thing, which it is for a lot of people. It's more of a, like you have a purpose behind your content and it's like a business strategy in a sense and all that kind of stuff. So I understand like the inner workings of it. Not that it like makes me do it, but like I understand it. So I think like you've definitely helped me understand like that world more.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good answer. I think I have too.
Great. Should I have gone with something sweet? I just went like tactical.
Okay, go with something sweet.
No, I'm not going to now. I'm just wondering, am I going to be like looked down on right now when she says something sweet? Let's see if she says anything sweet first.
We're going to have conflict. No, I think for this one, there's so many things that I've learned. Like I feel like I learned, what?
Go on.
Is this sweet?
No, I'm just letting everybody know that I've taught you so much.
Oh, I taught you so much too.
Yeah.
That's why I said don't listen to everything.
That?
Besides that, and that's like, nobody shoots from like up here anymore. It's got to be like.
See, I'm learning right now. My
like
angle is all wrong.
Yeah, it really is. I think I've learned, well, recently what I learned that I'm working on also is that I don't have to be understood. You like that one?
Yeah, that's good.
Because like I seek the urge to be understood so badly. Especially with him. Like I try to tell him you don't understand how I'm feeling because of XYZ, especially with like health conditions or with certain things with work in my career that maybe he's not in because he's not in like the social media world or whatever, you know, like things like that. I'm like, you wouldn't understand certain things. And like I'm trying to get him to understand, but at the end of the day, it's like you're not going to understand. So I think like finally coming to terms, like you taught me that I don't need to understand to like still hear you out and make you feel seen and be heard and be able to have a conversation about it and make you maybe feel better or talk about it or whatever. So I think that was like a big thing. That was more recently actually, which I'm still working on because I'm still like, you don't understand a lot of the time. And I do this with like a lot of people. So I'm working on that.
She apologizes to all of you.
Yeah, I do. I think that's a big one. But I think also like in general, just about like business and entrepreneurship, a big portion of like building my career. I learned like a lot of that from you. And like also just like people that you helped me surround myself with, but then also like things that you taught me personally. And like when I have questions about things, it's very like he's the first person that I go to about business sided things. And I think that's helpful because, well, I have ChatGPT too. And maybe when I ask you, you ask Chat, but it's like.
Wait, what?
Ask Chat.
Yeah, I don't ask. I don't think that's the thing.
It is chat. People call it chat. He doesn't know because we're in a different generation.
That's not it. But I will tell you that she is still asking me when she asks ChatGPT because I've actually hacked into her ChatGPT and it's just me typing on the other side. So
whatever. But anyways, yeah, I think you taught me a lot about like the business side of things too, and like, yeah, things like that, and seeing different perspective, and also, yeah, there's a lot of things. But anyways, not to toot your horn.
yeah, I think that's kind of like the point of like this like style of episode is like being able to learn from the other generation, even if you're not like realizing it. Cause like, as she mentioned, like at the beginning, like when we were at this event where they were doing this panel of people from different ages and stuff. One of the questions was like, what's your hidden talent? And this was like the most like revealing thing about like how our brains think, because when it got to like, even some of the like the older teens did this too, but for sure when it got to the adults, they tried creating some like fancy like business answer, right? Like my greatest talent is my amazing way of networking and finding solutions to problems. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then it got to this kid at the end who was, I don't know, probably 10 years old. And his answer was, I'm double jointed. And it was like, that's a hidden talent. Like that's a real answer. And like, as like adults, we overthink everything because it's like, oh, I have to have the perfect answer. I have to have this. The kid just gave the answer. And it's like not a single other person on stage gave an actual normal talent like that. Like nobody said juggling. They all gave like these scripted like answers. And sometimes we have to realize that like the innocence of like a young mind is like, it isn't like jaded by a society yet. It isn't like overthinking everything. Yeah. So like sometimes even I'll go to her, not comparing her with a 10-year-old, but like I'll go to her because she has like I'm a lot more pessimistic, I think, or like cynical, I think at my age, to where like I can think about a problem, like I can't find an answer to it, or it just seems like, this is too difficult to figure out. And then she'll answer it with like the most basic answer. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that works. Like sometimes the basic thing is the right thing, right? Yeah. So being older, sometimes we're overthinking things. So being able to see from two different generations, I think it's helpful to have the overthinking at times and the cynicism. So you're not just taking a leap without like looking at the risks, but sometimes taking the leap is necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell do you have next?
How we meet in the middle despite different life stages. Last question, then we'll go into rapid fire.
How do we meet in the middle? Well, the middle tends to be more like a 90-10. You know, it's not exactly the middle.
Who's the 90? Who's the 10?
It's usually me going 90 and her going 10. And then that's our comfortable middle.
I can't deny that.
Yeah, I think that's our comfortable middle.
All right, another technical difficulty. Our battery's almost dying. So we're going to wrap this up. But I agree that it's like kind of filling in the part where your other person like isn't. But also like, okay, I'm not going to go into it. Let's go into rapid fire. Okay, when you're stressed, do you overthink or do you let it go?
Let it go.
Okay, I think I overthink. But I'm working on letting it go. Money, save or invest?
Invest.
Invest. Okay. Failure, is it a lesson or a loss?
Lesson.
Lesson as well. Love, intensity or stability?
Stability long term.
Stability as well. I used to think that it needs to be like passion, whatever, all this stuff. And I forgot who it was. It was like a famous musician who actually said that if you feel like butterflies and excitement, in the beginning you should, but like after time, if you continuously feel that way, it's actually your nervous system saying that it's like a red flag. Like you shouldn't feel that way. You should feel safe and feel like stable and content and like good, not like your heart's racing all the time and things like that.
Sounds like a really weird song, but it's good.
Okay, it's not a song, but stability. Social media, tool or trap?
It's a trap.
Tool, but it could be a trap if you use it the wrong way. Energy, do you push through or rest?
Push through.
I think both. Yeah, push through, but also like rest is still important. Success, loud wins or quiet peace?
Quiet peace.
Quiet peace.
She's lying.
But a part of like my career is like I have to talk about success because I'm trying to help other people also get success in their life. So obviously I can't just be like quiet about everything because then they're going to be like, who are you? What have you done? Or what have you helped other people with? So yes, I do have to be loud with certain things. I don't think it's necessarily loud and being like, look at me, I have this and that. I think it's more of a motivational way of what I show. Like, this is a lifestyle I can have. This is freedom I have. This is things that I can do, but not in like a, what is it called?
Preachy?
Like, no, not preachy.
Braggy?
Like a braggy way. I don't think it's braggy. I try not to be, at least. Do you think I'm braggy?
I don't know if it's braggy.
You're taking way too long to answer, so.
We're supposed to be rapid fire. Why is she talking so much right now?
Do you think I'm braggy?
No, I don't think it's braggy. It's the answer though. It's like the not, did I say loud? Is that what I said?
Yeah, loud wins or
Yeah,
quiet
loud
peace.
wins. But I understand what you're saying is like you have to show like testimonials and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
I get that. I just feel like real G's move in silence like lasagna. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay, whatever. But I think it's also like I like quiet peace. Like, I don't want people all in my life and knowing everything about my life. But I think that for sure I do show things because it's important for other people to know what is possible. So anyways, whatever. Call it braggy. I think it's motivation. And if you see it that way, I think that's like on you, not on me. Okay. Anyways, with all of that being said, that's kind of like, you know, the differences between our age, and hopefully this episode resonated with people in like all different age groups. I don't know if we really like did this the right way. We had a goal of what we wanted to do with this. Don't know if it really happened, but we hope
We're
it
about to
was
find
helpful.
out.
Yeah. So,
but just like my life expectancy, this battery is about to die. So we should probably wrap this up.
all right, we're going to put it on charge. Bye.